Hello everyone, it's the Anime Wolfie back with another video, and today's video, we're gonna read a Dora the Explorer creepypasta called dora.DMI. If you guys think you might like this episode, let me know in the comments below, and also let me know what else you guys want to see in my next video, and I'll be sure to do that for you guys. So, I plan to get this episode out sooner, but stuff got in the way, again like always. So, with that being said, let's get in with the video without giving too much interruptions. Here we go. Okay, so I had to tell, but I beg you not to listen. By the time you have, you'll probably asking why you did. This is not something you want to hear. Please, turn back now. Or not? Well, okay. I'll tell my tale. Just let me forewarn you, this isn't something you came across on a daily basis. Not even in a lifetime basis. This, and no, it is not good. This is not for the faint of heart, or for people who get easily upset. The story. So, my name is Michael, but people call me Mitch. I don't know why. My friends Brian and Andrew came up with it. They just did. Anyway, back to the story. I was a huge fan of Nintendo and all the games they created back at the age of the Nintendo Game Boy. And so with my sister Alyssa. She was 7 and I was 10. Alyssa, still young, loved Dora the Explorer. I beg to differ. I hated this show. And I still disliked it, the fact she still watches the crap. It was all just idiotic. A Mexican fat ass who interrupts you whenever you're trying to talk. Whenever she went to the bathroom, I snatched the remote and changed the channel. Then she would have a fit. As kids, and still kids, Alyssa and I loved the Game Boy. She had the advanced SP, while I had all four, the color, original, advanced, and advanced SP. We love handheld to death. I played the Game Boy Color until it shorted out and the buttons fell off while playing Pokemon Red. I spent my allowance on the original and played it until the battery leaked. Same goes for the advance. Just in the middle of Super Mario Bros. Deluxe, I still laugh at it today. Now, I'm 14, and when my conflict happened, I was 10. Wow, can't believe it already have been 4 years. So anyways, Alyssa and I, Game Boy fanatics, own almost all the games, ranging from Pokemon Green and Tetris all the way to the Sonic Adventures 3. Alyssa and I played our system until the beeping stopped. At around Alyssa's 8th birthday, Alyssa started having nightmares and sometimes even cried and sobbed softly out of nowhere. Then she began acting weird. Like whenever Dora came on, her eyes bulged out of her eyes bugged out. She either ran out of the room screaming in terror, like in a screeching voice, or looking for the remote frantically. That was my first sign that something went wrong. This wasn't like Alyssa to act out. This wasn't like Alyssa to act out whenever her Mexican idol came on. I talked to my mother and she agreed that she was going insane. That's when Alyssa started getting therapy. She calmed down slightly but soon began going insane yet again. She would break pictures of her and a person in a Dora costume. And when we went to Nickelodeon resorts, also she always hold her ears and yelled no, no, no when Dora came on, and even stayed up all night. Sometimes she's staring straight. That's when we thought the therapy really wasn't a good idea. A few months ago, it got only worse. Like this one time, which I didn't like to bring up. She even tried slitting her wrist to end this madness. She bounced around in her head. Luckily, I heard something screaming and burst in her door, only to find her wrist flowing down with blood, and I immediately called 911. A little bit too late, and she would have been dead, which was brought to the hospital to heal. She would constantly call the nurse for help, and that help was she wanted to die. She couldn't have plastic knife whenever she got food, not even forks. She ate her food with her fingers. That's when I had enough one night. I told my mom that what had been happening needed to be stopped. That's when she was brought into an insane asylum. That sounds like a cliche, I know, but it was really happening. I've seen a lot of movies where the antagonist was brought into an asylum, but this was real. My mom and I occasionally checked on her from time to time, mainly on weekends. When I was out of school and my mom didn't have to work, which was good because I had free time to check on Alyssa to see what was going down. I was still worried. What if she never made it out? What if she is in there forever? I couldn't stop asking myself these questions. On the last day of school, I was extremely happy because I could visit Alyssa a lot more. And when I wasn't doing that, I was either playing Pokemon or Super Mario Bros. On my Game Boy Advance. I went to a ton of cookouts. Lots of birthdays, parties. Since most of my friends had the summer birthday, it was nice to kick back in their awesome in-ground pools. It was a bliss. I love trading Pokemon with my friends. And then I found out the Mew glitch and my friends wanted in. We played Pokemon even more because of that glitch. But Alyssa was still gone, and I just prayed for her to get better. And on August 10th, during the summer vacation, we went to check on her. I was really curious on what Alyssa was up to, and I snuck in her room myself while my mother spoke to the specialist. Nervously, I asked her, "How you feeling, champ?" She would just shake her head. I walked in slowly because usually people who are insane grab you and ask for freedom. "So, what have you been up to?" I asked as she shook her head once more. Without hesitation, I pulled up a chair next to her. I held her hand and said, I've been thinking, what is it exactly that made you go insane?" She didn't respond. She said, "Mike, you have to finish it." "Finish it?" That was the first thing that came to mind. "What?" I replied back. "You have to finish the game. It's under my bed. If you finish it, it's in the box of..." She clenched her fist and hesitated. "Dora stuff, please." For me, my eyebrow went down in confusion. We talked about the Dora situation for a while. She said she went insane because of the game she found it from behind her school dumpster, and the note attached. "To whoever is reading this, you need to help me. Please, I need to take this game and snap it in half. Don't even play it, just break it. Please, I have to find some way to get rid of this." And she wouldn't let me throw it out. "You need to do it for me. Please, just do it fast. Don't try to throw it out, or she'll attack you. Just break it quickly." To Anonymous. She said she was too curious and she should have just never played it. She wanted to undo it, but it was too late. So I need to finish it for her. It was up to me to stop her madness. I let go of her hand. "Alright, sis, you got it." I shook as I walked out. What was this game? Who made it? My head spun in all the confusion. It begins. And my mother finished up with the specialist. She brought me back home. On the way back, I thought of what Alice could have meant. Finish the game? I had that in my mind for the rest of the ride. When I shut the car door behind me, entering the house, I ran upstairs and through Elisa's door. I looked under her bed, and sure enough, there was the box of door crap. There was a door doll, a door sticker sheet, a door pillow, door slippers, a Game Boy, and a door Game Boy game. I tossed the door doll back in, and the rest except for the cartridge. It was a normal Game Boy cartridge. There was something off about the cartridge, though. Its sticker was scratched off. Like, the sticker was gone, but not completely. The paper that was left behind, there was something written in red pen. Dora.DMI. I know it sounds like a cliche, but this one was really happening. I mean, I seen a lot of scary stories that included EXE and DLL, but nothing like DMI. I frowned and thought to myself, is this really happening? And after a few attempts of trying to wake up, and by that I mean slamming my head in the wall, slapping my face, and even stepping on a Lego, it turned out to be reality. Well, dang it, I thought to myself. Without hesitation, I plopped the game in the card slot of my Game Boy Advance and turned it on. It started up as usual with the ding shining sound that the game will usually start up as. Then the title card of the game appeared, and to my surprise, it was the title of the Dora the Explorer. The search for the Pirate Pig's treasure, but the title screen and the name on the cartridge on it, dora.DMI, the title had the same music and everything except for the title. I pressed start and it told me there was only one option. Start. Just start. There wasn't options, continue, or new game. They would just start. Well, with no other option, I pressed start, just as the screen told me to do. The game began. There wasn't cutscene though. It just took me straight to the map. The map looked a little actual scene screen from the show. It had 3 places that normally Dora and Boots would go to. Instead, this time there was 8, and some of the map's icons looked like they were drawn poorly in the MS Paint. File, the map.png. The level icon with little green boxes, and there were mountains. They were a mountain, a swamp, a forest, and what looked like a portal. I had begun level 1, so I did. I was playing as the poorly drawn Dora, as I recall, still looked pretty like the MS Paint style. This wasn't any level 1, it was used the level that was called Dora, and the level wasn't green and happy at all. It was Dora just in the dark asylum. It reminded me of Alice. And why on earth would Dora be in an asylum anyways? There was a person across from Dora. File, the asylum hall.png. When I walked up to him, he vanished and left behind a little black cube. It was exactly like the map icon. I walked over and picked it up. When I touched it, the screen went nuts. It started stretching and proliferating, and flashing of Dora crying popped up. It lasted for about 40 seconds. The screaming only got worse. It sounded like someone was seriously hurt. The screen went black. I heard soft sobbing, which then got louder and louder for about 20 seconds. Text appeared on the screen, and that sobbing continued. Swiper, swipe your heart. Want to try again? Then there was a yes or no option. Being curious as ever, I was taking orders from Alice and finished the game. I clicked yes. Then the second level appeared. The title card read Boots. Sure enough, I was playing as a poorly drawn Boots. The second level was much different. It was Boots in the graveyard, and he was crying. He was sobbing softly, and it sounded like real. like he was a real boy crying. I didn't know that the game could handle that quality of sound, and I was a Game Boy Whiz. Anyway, Boots was crying over a grave. It must have been Dora's, and sure enough, it was. I could do nothing but watch Boots weep over the loss of his companion. I couldn't move. I couldn't jump. I even tried to turn off the system I tried to turn off the system, but I couldn't bring myself to do it, so I had to finish this for Alice. Boots sobbed and cried for about 30 seconds. Suddenly, a hand upright out of the grave. It snatched Boots' leg, and down went Boots, and the screen cut to black, and all I could hear was screaming of agony. The screen came back about 30 more seconds later, and this time it was level 3. The first 2 levels were quick scarers, and I was feeling something. It was actually fear. I was scared of what would happen next. This game caught me off guard. I tried to hide my feelings for this game, but now I had to tell you guys because I'm telling this tale. The third level was long. The title card would read "Fair Game." This time I was playing on Dora again, but how? I thought Dora would get murdered. I think so. This level was just a dark hallway which got darker and darker as I progressed until I got to a point of where I saw Boots hanging from the ceiling, his entrails hanging out, and it was actually shaded too. His eyeballs still wide open. I held my hand over my mouth in utter shock. There was a bloody text. "You are next, Mitch." I nearly cried. How the hell did this game know who I was? I really threw the game out at the window. I couldn't bring myself to do it. So yet again, obeying Alice. Who made this game, and how did they know who I was? I progressed. Still with that image in my head, I progressed more and more. The purple girl, Tico, who was also dead, made it worse. The more I progressed, the darker it becomes, until I got to the point at which it actually came to a portal. I didn't know what it was going to do, so I hopped in it. There was no sound whatsoever when I jumped into the spirally portal. I didn't pay too much attention to it, though, due to the fact that Alice is going to be insane because of this. Anyway, after I went to the portal, I was dropped into a lake of water. C.PNG. I'm sorry for reading the file to you guys, but it had to be done. This time, Dora was actually in the swimming animation, and there was music. If you count it as music, there were splashes and splooshes of water. Well, it wasn't exactly music, but it was closer I got. And sure enough, the scene was poorly drawn too. There was a few strings of coral, I I think, and there was a figure. It looked like Swiper. I couldn't tell. It was orange and had a tail, so I think it was him. When I swarmed over to him, he pulled out a butcher's knife and stabbed himself. Brains and blood splattered everywhere. I could do nothing but watch him ruthlessly stab himself to death and screamed in pain. I could never do anything after Swiper died. A few minutes later, the Jaws theme played, and I had no idea what was going on in the game, but it was including that Dora was drowning. Numbers above my head counting down, just like an old Sonic game. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Except it did not reach 0, the screen cut to black. It stayed there for about 25 seconds. The game came back and I didn't even know where I was anymore. I was still playing as Dora, but it was the opposite side. There was a familiar face waiting for me. It was Boots, except he had no eyes. They weren't black or bleeding. He just had no pupils whatsoever. I ran up to Eyeless Boots and he did nothing. Just stand there. I tried jumping over him, but it didn't work. He just stood there ominously. I pressed A. He spoke. "Oh, hello, Mitch. You're finally here. So Alice couldn't make it. What a shame. She didn't want to play. But you would, right, Mitch?" That actually made my heart sink. And even know Alice's name. After Boots spoke, the screaming resumed and he vanished, only to leave behind another item. I picked it up, bracing myself for more screaming. Sure enough, the screaming happened once again, and flashes of Dora and Boots. I nearly shed a tear. The 4th level title appeared. You can't escape my grasp. That was the thing that scared me. I couldn't escape this never-ending nightmare. I soon felt the same as Alice and how I was gambling my life. This level was still playing as Dora, just with no eyes. Well, she had sockets, just no pupils, like the eyeless Boots. The level was Dora in the mountaintop from the map earlier, except I don't recall it being this late to the party. This level actually included platforming, which my usual Mario Bros. Skills of parkour. I leaped from the platform to platform. The level progressed vertically and I would reach near top. I fell. I must have been falling for about 40 seconds. That's when I hit the bottom. I heard a realistic splat, and blood and gore formed a text on the screen. Oops. Try again. Now I would have been fine if it felt like normal platformers. Frightened me and cry a bit was the splat from happy-go-lucky. Try again. And then nothing happened. What really scared me was Dora's desperate file skeleton dora.PNG. She was a pure bloody skeleton, and each and every time I fell down she died the same way, having to start all over again. Eventually I made it past the death part, and the rest was easy. Just then there was a text that read, "Boots." I assumed that Dora was mourning over the loss of her monkey friend. Once more as I moved to the mountain, she spoke, "Where are you?" I took it as it is. I took this as one of those things that was supposed to scare you, but this part didn't scare me. The more I moved up, the more Dora spoke. "It's so cold. I want you. Boots, don't go." I finally hit the summit. There stood Boots. He held a knife in his hand. He murmured to myself, "Don't do it." But he did. Dora stood, and Boots slit his wrist and stabbed his stomach and ending his life. Dora could do nothing, but there was a smile as Boots killed himself. There was red text that appeared as he killed himself. "You cannot escape my grasp." There was the level title. The screen cut to black. Evil Kid's laughter began to play. Played for about 30 seconds until the screen came back to low 5. End the game. This was it. The end of the horror show. I could finish this and Alex would be happy. The level began with Dora on a platform above fire. Dora was angry, like she was pissed at something. There was fire, a sound effect that was real. It was raging on. And then a figure popped out of the background. It faded in and it was visible. It was the same exact figure from the asylum. I walked into him, hoping he wouldn't get away this time, and sure enough, he ran. Sure enough. Then the screen told me to press A quickly, which I promptly obeyed, smashing like a madman. Dora ran after the villain and tackled it and pushed him down. He pushed Dora off, then he spoke. "I see. That's why. You want to save Alice, don't you, Mitch?" A yes or no option appeared, and I smashed an A button yet again, while the cursor hovered over yes. "Oh, do you? Well, too bad. I like her just the way she is. Let me make you a deal. You fight me and win, I will cure her from her insanity. If you lose, you shall join her in never-ending, ceaseless agony." I wanted to save Alice, I really did, but the thing was, this thing looked strong enough to bring me to my knees. I selected no. You don't want to free your sister, huh? Well, if you don't want to fight, I guess you forfeit, meaning you lose. Are you sure you don't want to fight? Right there, that one sentence, I realized something. I'm a whip. My sister is in danger, and it's up to me to stop this madness. I selected no, feeling up for the challenge. Okay, prepare to cease to be. The battle commenced. His health bar was enormous. The battle commenced. His health bar was enormous. It wrapped around a screen, while mine was purely compromised to him. Compared to him, compared. I pressed every button I could to attack. I discovered B with punch, so I began smashing it. I dodged him whenever he could attack. He did massive damage. Each hit dealt with sapping my health by a whooping 10%. In each 5 hits, I did only 1%. He was fast. He moved at the speed of light, and each and every hit cost me a chance to win. I have 4 lives, so I might have a shot. It must have been at least 30 minutes of dodging and smashing the B button until I finally got half of his health down. He said, "You're getting on my nerves. Time for real discipline." He grew even stronger, and each time he gave me, he sapped 30% now. I must not have known my own strength, because I even got him down to 1% HP. This is the chance to defeat him and bring him down and bring down his reign of terror. I delivered one final blow and he fell off to the ground. "One last time," he said. "Why, you?" Then he hopped back up with 7,000 HP. He slid towards Dora and began choking her. There were even choking sounds, and it sounded real hyper-realistic. Dora was running out of air and fast. Her health bar dealt faster and faster with each growing second. I mashed all the buttons, hoping to break free, but there was no use. Dora had been strangled to death. The figure slammed Dora to the ground. Red text appeared one last time. "You lost. Want to try again?" The yes and or no option appeared. I clicked yes, but nothing happened. I could do nothing but say no, which I did. The game just shut off by itself after that. I put down my game in sheer terror. My hands trembled, questioning myself. What the hell did I just play? Aftermath. It's been 13 days since that horror show, and ever since, whenever I turn my Game Boy method on, that thing is there. It's just an image of the asylum person. The Game Boy won't read any game. It just shows me the image of the person. So I threw the Game Boy out. I did it happily too. Well, the specialist actually said Alice is going to get better, and I don't think it would be because of that deal I made with the asylum person. I certainly didn't win anyway. Now that both Alice and I are rid of the horror game, we're both happy. And if you find this Game Boy in the dump, smash it with a hammer or burn it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that long cartoon creepypasta of dora.DMI. If you guys have, let me know in the comments below, and also let me know what else you guys want to see in my next video. And let me know what else you guys want to see in my next video. So this has been the Anime Wolfie, and peace out.